I can't believe we're already almost in November. It's crazy. The end of the year is here. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you have never been here before, my name is April. Every month I like to go over new releases. I'm not necessarily gonna read all these, but they are the books that I'm most interested in of the new releases that are coming out in November. So let's just get right into it because there's actually quite a lot of books. Right out the gate on November 6th, haha, I know what you're waiting for. You all know what book I'm gonna talk about on November 7th, but we're gonna start on November 6th first, okay? This one is called White Horse, Black Knights, and it's by Evie Marceau. This one sounds right up my alley right now with fantasy romance. Like, it just sounds so good. You have a girl who has been locked away for 10 years and she only talks to animals. And she's been sold off to a villainous High Lord. And the only person she can trust is the guard who is helping her get to that High Lord. And of course, this guard is surly because he would rather be fighting on the front lines rather than babysitting a princess. And it sounds like there's gonna be some politics in this and also some trying not to succumb to each other's desires. It does say this is a dark enemies to lovers fantasy that has drawn inspiration from Snow White and the Legend of Lady Godiva, which I thought was an interesting combination. So it went on this list for being interesting. And of course on November 7th, Iron Flame comes out. We're all gonna read it. Do I even need to talk about it? No, because everyone already is. We're all gonna read it, or at least majority of us. And I'm sure we're gonna love it or hate it. One of the two. November 7th, can't wait. Also on November 7th is one of the books that I have been desperately waiting for all year. It's Vengeance of the Pirate Queen by Tricia Levensellar. This is book 3 of her Daughter of the Pirate King duology. After years, she wrote a third one, and right off the bat, it says it's a mashup between Pirates of the Caribbean and The Mummy. I mean, those are like the two biggest and best franchises of all time. So very high expectations for this. In this one we have Sorinda, who is an 18-year-old assassin working for the Pirate Queen, and she's a little surprised when instead of being sent on a mission to assassinate someone, she's sent on a mission to rescue someone. So this sounds cool with a lot of dangerous creatures, a little bit of an adventure on the sea. Sorinda's helmsman is a total pain in the ass and kind of sexy. So I can't wait for this at all. This is YA, and yeah, this is probably one of my favorite series of all times, and I'm glad it's got another book coming. On November 14th, there is Never Met a Duke Like You, and this is by Amalie Howard. This is the second book in a series. This is a Clueless retelling, which I think is also one of those Shakespeare stories, Taming of the Shrew. I have no, I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, Clueless. Okay, that's my generation. Okay. You have Lady Vesper, who is beautiful and clever and a debutante, and she has a knack for matchmaking. And then you have a reclusive duke coming back into England because his estate is insolvent and he needs help. Oh, they get trapped in an attic together. Oh, I love that. Oh, they have an explosive attraction. Give it to me now, give it to me now. I do actually have an arc for this and I will be reading it, so I cannot wait for this. I absolutely love Amalie Howard's books, as you all know, and yes, this will be read. On November 16th, we have What Sleeps Within the Cove. Honestly, I thought this was a trilogy, but apparently there's a 4th book. This is by Harper Woods, and it's the Flesh and Bone series. I have read the first 2 books. I did not get to the 3rd one yet. I need to do that. I need to do that. In the first book, you have a girl who is being abused, and she's going to be sacrificed to this big Fae wall that is separating the humans from the Fae. Only as she's being sacrificed, the wall comes down and thus brings out these Fae people who are hunting their mates, humans, something like that, and she's being hunted. So she's trying to run away from them. Anyways, it's a really cool story and I really enjoy it. I thought it was a trilogy. I didn't know there was a fourth one coming, but apparently there is. And all the synopsis on Goodreads says is go back to where it all began. Are we making a loop? Are we going in a circle? I don't know. Maybe this is the last book. Also on November 16th is Cosmic Crush 2 by Clio Evans. This is a monster romance, and I think it's a mashup with a cowboy romance. Like, look at this dude. He's got a hat on. Let's see what it says. I know it's sci-fi monster romance. Oh, he is a chaps wearing outlaw alien. Yes. This is her like alien burlesque series. I haven't read this one yet, but I think it's so fun, especially that it's sci-fi. I definitely need more sci-fi in my repertoire these days. But Fated Mates, fast burn, love that. Swoony romance with delicious spice. I'll be the judge of that, okay? I think when I do my cowboy themed reading vlog, I'm gonna add this one to it because, you know, sometimes we just need to mix up the genres a little bit, okay? On November 17th is a book that literally stopped me in my tracks. You know when you're scrolling and you see something and you're like, the brakes hit? That is what this cover did to me. It's called Philomena and the Seven Deaths. It is a dark Gothic why choose romance. Those are all my favorite words. Look at this cover. I think it's absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. And what really hit it home for me on this one is that it said perfect for fans of the show Penny Dreadful. If you haven't watched Penny Dreadful yet, it is like Gothic to Gothic's extent, okay? It is phenomenal and also disturbing, and I loved it. So Philomena thought she was lucky when her husband died and she inherited his wealth, but then one day she wakes up 6 feet underground. So after that, she crawls up out of the mud and she lives her life again, but then she starts dying again and again and coming back. And she's like, what the hell? Of course, while this is happening, 4 monsters are claiming that she is the reincarnation of Lilith and she has to fulfill a prophecy about that. And she's just like, I did not gain my freedom only to give it up again. And she's really resistant to it. This sounds so intriguing that I really, really need to read it. I don't know that I will by the end of the year, but I'm definitely keeping this on my TBR for specifically next Halloween if I don't get to it before then. Then on November 28th, we have The Endless War. I have already pre-ordered this. This is book 4 in the Bridge Kingdom series and also the second book with the second couple. And I gotta tell you, if you've only read the first 2 books of the Bridge Kingdom series with Laura and Aaron, I really didn't think Danielle L. Jensen could top them. They are like perfect book couple forever. However, Karis and Zara, goals. Just goals, okay? I love them so much. Yeah, I am definitely reading this one. It's one of my top 10 books to read by the end of the year. Can't wait for it. The audiobook is already out, by the way. It is on Audible as it's an Audible exclusive. I just have not read that yet or listened to that yet because I haven't been listening to audiobooks that much, to be honest. And I just want to read this one physically. On November 30th, I have a title that just makes me chuckle. It's Ghoul as a Cucumber. This is by Stephanie Holmes. I have several books I want to read by Stephanie Holmes. This is the 3rd book in this series, so I won't be reading this anytime soon, but I thought I'd put it out there because it's one of those kooky, cozy fantasy with spice books that honestly perfect for the fall season. Even though it's going to be after Halloween, I don't care. Like, I'll still read the spooky stuff, especially if it's kooky spooky, you know what I mean? Like if it's silly spooky, I am all about it. Again, this is just hitting all my boxes. Sarcastic heroine, hot possessive ghostly men, and then also a mystery to solve. Gotta love it. that's why I have this on my list. I definitely want to get to this series at some time. It's kind of like a new adult Grimdale Academy type thing, but also just silly Halloween-y fun after Halloween times. We can still have that. And lastly, on November 30th, we have Charming the Troll's Heart. This is book 4 in this series, and this cover might be my favorite just because I absolutely love the expressions on their faces, specifically the heroine. She's like, this whole series again, I need to read it. I need to just do it. I need to dive in. But this one looks so cute, and it kind of looks a little Tarzan to me. I don't know if it's supposed to be Tarzan, but whatever. It's only 188 pages, so I really just want to read this whole series. I just need to get to it already. Oh, she's stolen from her bed in the middle of the night. What? We going after it right out the gate? She's shipped across the ocean to a strange land and kept in a cage like an animal. The troll is her caretaker. Oh, he's a criminal with a heart of gold. Give it to me, okay? Give it to me now. It says super steamy too. Love it. Anyways, those are all the books that I have on my list for November releases. Let me know if any of these sound interesting to you, or if you have one coming out in November that you want to add to the list. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!